Okay, if you want to see something sad, you've come to the right place. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Florence and today I'm going to be uploading a moving vlog. So I have about 150 to 200 houseplants, I never count them. And I moved across the UK with them. So I was lucky enough to not have to get a moving van. So I moved all of the plants myself. You'll see in this vlog kind of how I did it. There are patches where there haven't been any filming, so if there's anything in there that you kind of can't put together, let me know in the comments and I'll explain it to you down below. And yeah, we're gonna do an empty flat tour. You'll see where things were and how empty it now looks in the flat, and I'll quickly pop a clip now as to what the flat looked like before I started shifting about all of my plants. Okay, so it's 27 degrees in the flat today and I have packed up some of these plants. It is a real mess. So when I pan down, I'm just going to show you kind of what I'm doing. So I'm trying to shove as many plants as possible in boxes, big boxes that can be folded over when I travel. I'm just driving these about 2 hours down the road, so it's not too bad. 3 hours down the road, but I do want the lids closed because otherwise I don't want them getting sunburn in the car. I'm just trying to work out what the hell to do with this pepperoni hope. Also, that looks disgusting. It is just sap from where I cut the flower head off this jatropha. But as you can see, all of this is gone, needs a good clean, but then these are only light, so I've just popped them on. My lipstick I have wrapped in newspaper. This was in a round pot, so it's just got a pot underneath to kind of like lean in it. And I've just kind of packed as much stuff as possible. Obviously these are too large, or like too tall for the boxes, but luckily they're quite bendy, so I can just bend them down. But yeah, next I have to tackle these. I think that'll be the next trip, but yeah, there's some big old plants. So there's all of these, which are too tall to obviously go in boxes. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And also this golden pothos, which is huge. So we shall see. Stuff off the shelves and all of that stuff is gone. It is a pigsty in here. I mean, this is what packing is, right? These are the ones that normally sit behind me in videos that I do, like tutorials. I'm actually gobsmacked that they all fitted, and also the caladiums in there wrapped up in kind of newspaper and tape, I guess, just to protect them a bit. Also, I will mention, hence all of this, I didn't water for like 3 weeks before I packed all of this. So I've got more hanging plants in here, my massive pepperoni hope, which I was actually really worried about, but I just put all the strings outside of the box and then filled it with other plants that are quite sturdy underneath. Put newspaper on top and then wound those round so they don't get caught in the other plants. Some more hanging plants, and in round planters, so this Adansonii I put in another pot underneath to make it sturdy, and there's actually quite a lot of plants that are just crammed in there. You can't really see, you can see the little flowers from oxalis down there. Yeah, and then some other basic plants in here, my baby cactus, but you can see that I've just kind of padded them out with newspaper, and that is most of my plants going. Okay, so I'm currently stuck in traffic. I'm about 3 hours into the journey. I've got another hour to go, but that's with traffic. And honestly, it's been a super smooth drive. I didn't pack any of the plants with any bubble wrap or anything. I just really crammed them in tightly. I'll obviously let you know when I get there whether any of them are damaged. For any gaps in between pots, I stuffed newspaper in, but really, I mean, that was hardly anything. And yeah, you'll see where I'm putting them as well whilst we're staying at my parents' house. This is actually the majority of my plants that I've got in the back. I did seal the boxes, well, most of them apart from all of the ones that were from the table, just so that they don't get massively sunburnt, and it's more or less the same as if they were in transit. So I'm quite happy with that. I've also had the aircon on and the window open a bit, which I'm sure can't be good for my plants, but screw it. I mean, I'm hot, it's like 28 degrees down in Devon. So yeah, just currently waiting for some traffic to kind of get over itself. And I know that you're super wobbly as well, so I will try and stabilise this, but I'm not sure it'll work. Okay, so here are the cabinet plants, which I've put in a box and taped over with cling film just so that no humidity is lost and they have a bit of protection. They're all crammed in there, actually. I was surprised that I fit them all in, but I've put newspaper in between them all just so that they don't rattle around. The vanilla orchid has been taped together to the stool and then bubble wrapped around so that it doesn't get crushed at all in the car and the pots don't move about. The biggest problem was the concrete ivy, so I've bubble wrapped that and all the gravel in place. I've then newspapered over the vining plant up it and wrapped it with bubble wrap, left the top exposed, but the bubble wrap should just protect it a bit because it's going to have to lean in the car. And now we've got the empty flat tour. It actually looks huge in here without all of our stuff and our plants. It's really sad seeing stuff not on the wires or on the potting station, so, you know, it's always going to look bare, but this place has done the plants and us very well. It's just weird seeing nothing in here anymore. And the bedroom is looking absolutely huge. I don't think we took enough advantage of the light in the bedroom because the window is absolutely huge, but it's just really odd seeing nothing in here anymore. Then down the hallway, I've obviously taken my calatheas and the little other plants that were in here. And then in the bathroom, more or less all the plants are gone. I've left 2 little ones which are staying just because they're easy care. And the shower, I'm going to miss that a lot. I'd love these tiles in our new place, so. And kitchen is pretty bare bones as well. We didn't have that many plants in here, but it's good to show you anyway, because it'll give you more of an idea. If you haven't seen the first houseplant tour, go check it out, because you can see it all in that. And then that's it. So bye to the flat, Hal. Okay, so here we are. My parents have an outbuilding, which, as you can see, has now been taken over with plants. Okay, so all of my hanging plants are hanging again. So in between the beams, I've put wood and chains and hung up all the plants, and actually they're incredibly happy. This is 2 weeks after moving them into this space. And everything has just grown insane amounts since being in here. I didn't think that they would be this happy. Obviously all my plants that were behind the sofa. This Herpetia was the only casualty. It really hated being transported and it's pretty crispy, but I think there are still some green bits in there, so I'm hoping to salvage some of that. But yeah, it's just very difficult trying to get things not to stick to the wall in here because the humidity is incredible. So every couple of weeks I'm having to peel things away. My variegated monstera has, of course, thrown out a new leaf. And this also struggled. This is my Rhaphidophora foraminifera. It has pushed out a new leaf and the last leaf is still fairly happy, but it got knocked about a bit. these are the only leaves that I've lost in the 2 weeks since transporting. That's including everything that got damaged in transit. But honestly, like, there's hardly anything there, as you can see. And it's just amazing. I'm really, really happy. Very, very lucky to have such amazing light in here. I've got my little oxalis and peace lily on top of the toilet and my syngonium in the bathroom. This is just doing really well. All of my caladiums I'm pretty shocked at. I thought they'd be quite shocked from the move. Only this one has kind of been a bit sad, but everything else is looking fairly happy. And then down here I've got a couple more plants which again haven't been too unhappy from the move. I've got one yellow leaf on a pothos, but other than that, I'm just gobsmacked at how well things have done and how well things are doing. This Peperomia Hope has always been a bit of a funny colour, but I managed to transport it without breaking anything. And yeah, like, everything is literally just shooting up. My verrucosum has decided that it doesn't have spider mites anymore, which is great. And the vanilla orchid next to it has pumped out loads of new growth, as has this jatropha. And yeah, I'm just so happy, and it's been a stressful move, but my plants haven't been that stressed, which is incredible. And then the last few in here, obviously the ivy, which has one yellow leaf, but I'm leaving the bottom taped up because we're going to have to transport it again. I've got my terrarium, my calathea, and actually my terrarium's doing really well. I do need to trim it back a bit, so I will potentially be making a new one. I need to find something to put them in, but yeah, just everything. And the calathea down here now, because we've got softer water, should be much happier. But yeah, that's where my plants are at the moment. This isn't all of them. I actually have a few in my bedroom, which I'll show you now. So I've got my big anthurium, my fiddly fig, my oxalis, a few new plants which you haven't seen. Just all of my smaller plants. So these two are actually ones that you haven't seen, and the lemon lime maranta. But everything's doing well. Begonias are flowering, and my mani hot, I am absolutely gobsmacked that is fine and growing really well. And then at the end of this kind of bench, I've got all of my succulents and cacti and smaller plants, so they get really, really good light. And then my cabinet is in one of the spare rooms at my parents' house. So I've got my verrucosum on top and all of my kind of more tricky plants in here. They're all doing really, really well. Again, I'd really recommend the cling film method. Okay, and that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's something a bit different to what I normally do. Yeah, now you know how I moved across the UK with all of my houseplants. If you have any tips and tricks for people, please leave it in the comments below, because I'm sure that's who most of the people watching this will be, searching for tips. Yeah, I mean, I was absolutely gobsmacked at the fact that I didn't have more casualties, to be honest. And I definitely think that I was lucky in that sense, but what can you do? Anyway, best of luck if you are looking to move with houseplants, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.